going over to the troop part of your defenses, and have a good defenses. Of course, you don't want ever to have too many troops if your buffs aren't high enough, as well as your debuffs, as you can see here, because otherwise you just, easy points for anyone in SVS or Battlegrounds. They just have to scout you once and just realize, oh shit, well, easy. I can just attack you, get a lot of points without barely using any troops. So if you keep 35, this is why you want to start, is just tier 1 mounted. If you do have AK or Partian gear on your defense channel, like I explained earlier, just get 100 million. Well, just 100. It's still a lot. It's a lot of clicking. Tier 1 mounted. That's where you start once you have your AK or Partian with some good mounted flat refines. After that, you just want to train 100,000 of every tier, of every troop. As you can see here, I have 1 million of, but that's because when I reached tier 38, I just knocked it up a notch, because you start getting bigger, getting better buffs, so it's worth it. But until you have the buffs that I do, don't get like 1 million layers, just get 100,000 as a start. So 100 million tier 1, 100,000 layers. Then once you reach tier 11, then you just start training about 250,000 tier 11, then tier 12 like 500,000, tier 13 like 750,000, and then tier 14 just not the siege catapults, but like just the ranged, the cavaliers and the samurais. You just want to train about 1 million tops. This should be the max troops amount for keep 35, unless you're a big rally starter and you have a lot of mounted troops, but then you have to be careful that when you do play PvP, you drop your bubble, that you ghost your mounted troops, because they're gonna get fucked if they attack you, even when you got a strong booty car like mine with my mounted troops. If I don't ghost my mounted troops, even with these buffs, I will go negative, I will lose a lot of points, it will cost me a lot of source of life to heal them. But yeah, that's what you want to do for keep 35. Once I reached keep 38, I mean, that's when I started training more tier 14 siege, because my siege buffs, as you can see here, were getting like at 1200, 1300, so I knew it's safe to train more siege, because siege is the best defense against ranged troops, and ranged troops will attack you a lot. So in a perfect scenario, you just want to drop your bubble, ghost your mounted troops, ghost your siege, have someone scout you. They see, if he's a pro player, he will attack you with ranged. When you see he's attacking you with ranged, you unghost your siege. Your siege will do a lot of damage to their ranged if they have good buffs in your defenses. And the reason why you ghost your siege, because a ghost, like a good player or a pro player, seeing that you have a lot of siege, he will just attack you with siege first and take a lot of troops from you and go positive. So that's why I ghost mine at the start. So yeah, that's pretty much, what you want to work towards. When you reach keep 38, you can go to, from 100 mil to 200, 300 mil, kind of tier 1. It's also good when you reach like 250 million tier 1 mounted troops to train just 50 million tier 1 warriors as an extra add up, depends on your meat wall. And then eventually, once you start reaching towards keep 40, I mean, getting 50 million to 100 million tier 2 when you do mounted flat refines is also a really nice bonus. And then you can start getting especially your higher layers between tier 1. Basically, your layers, average layers, always have to be like either 100k when you get to keep 40, 1 million layers. When you reach tier 10, that's when you start adding up a bit higher. Bit, depending on how high your tiers are, and this is how you add up to your defense. This is what you want to work towards eventually. So as you can see, tier 14 is the highest, then tier 13, and just try to get it up. The only reason why my cavaliers are a lot higher in the amount is because I used to do a lot of rallies, and that's why I trained a lot. But that means that I also have to be a lot more careful in PvP and ghost them.